Revelation 27. When the 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison.
The word fatwa actually just means a religious ruling by a Muslim cleric. But in the West it has come to specifically refer to the handing down of a death sentence for blasphemy. The most famous fatwa was dealt out by Iran's late leader Ayatollah Khomeini against author Salman Rushdie for the satanic verses, which reputedly insulted the Muslim prophet Muhammad. But this is only the most famous case. Fatwas are issued quite regularly. So much so that the issuing of unauthorised fatwas has become a real problem in some parts of the Muslim world, with renegade clerics handing them out willy-nilly. Malevolent fatwas became such a problem in Bangladesh that in 2001 its Supreme Court outlawed the issuing of unauthorised fatwas. But surprisingly, if you really want some fatwa action, you can't go past the United Kingdom, where a guy named Sheikh Omar Bakri has set up the UK Sharia court, appointing himself senior judge. The head of UK's leading Islamic body, the Muslim Council of Britain, has campaigned heavily against Bakri, saying he brings Islam into disrepute with his fatwa-friendly ways. And boy, is he fatwa-friendly. Bakri's placed fatwas on playwright Terence McNally, Prime Minister Tony Blair, former Prime Minister John Major, Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf, every member of the gay Muslim group Al Fatiha, every Muslim in the UK police force, and to top it all off, when the Iranian government finally removed the fatwa on author Salman Rushdie, Bakri reinstated it. Basically, this guy doesn't seem too fussy when it comes to handing out fatwas. But was it really that easy to get one? I thought I'd go to England to conduct an experiment. How difficult is it to get the senior judge of the UK Sharia court to place a fatwa on someone? As we know, every fatwa needs a fatwa-e. But who should I choose? I couldn't think of anyone. Then I remembered this thing that's been bugging me for a while, involving popular Channel 10 presenter Rove McManus. Let me give you the background. Back in the mid-90s, Rove was a virtual unknown, doing it tough as the host of the community television show The Loft on Channel 31, filmed in a rat-infested basement at RMIT University.
Oh, all right, knock it off. Welcome to The Loft. How you doing? My name is Rove, so good to see you.
Like Rove, my past was also firmly rooted in Melbourne's community television and radio scene. But then in 1997, I unexpectedly shot to superstardom of David Cassidy and Beatlemania proportions on ABC's Race Around the World. I had arrived. Whilst back at Channel 31, Rove was still in the basement trying to fight off the rats. It was around this time that one of Rove's little friends rang and asked in a shaky voice to speak to Mr. Safran. She wanted to know if I'd appear on Rove's community television show, The Loft. Even though I was risking black plague from the Channel 31 rats, I said yes.
Will you please welcome the very tardy John Safran? Now, you were voted most popular. Where do you go from here?
Oh, I don't know, as I say, novelty rap, single, drug addiction, and then fall into oblivion.
After the taping, he smiled and shook my hand and thanked me for supporting the little guy. I wished him all the best for the future. And he replied, listen, thanks for coming down. I know it's just community television, but you know, if I ever can do anything for you, ever, just ask. With that, I signed his copy of my novelty CD single, Not the Sunscreen Song, and left. Cut to 5 years later. And boy, had the worm turned. Rove was the Gold Logie reigning king of nighttime television, and I was down on my luck. Booted out of the ABC after getting in a scuffle with current affairs host Ray Martin. But it wasn't hopeless. I was about to release my new show, John Safran's Music Jamboree. With a bit of luck, it would be my big comeback. I was on the publicity trail. The SBS publicist had tentatively booked me on Rove's show. I felt good, remembering Rove's words all those years ago.
If there's ever anything I could do for you, just ask.
Then at the 11th hour, the SBS publicist rang to tell me something. I'd been bumped from Rove's show. By Pink! Now I know it seems a bit dramatic to try to get a fatwa placed on someone just because they've bumped you from their show, but I'm fairly petty. And even though it kind of bugged me when smarmy bohemians lay into Rove for not being alternative enough, when in actuality he spent years slogging it out of community television, I couldn't get past the fact I was bumped for pink. Besides, I needed a subject for my experiment. How difficult is it to get the senior judge of the UK Sharia court to place a fatwa on someone? I had to track down the senior judge. First stop, the London Mosque, where they had banned him and his Sharia court colleagues.
They speak a load of rubbish, and it's not even from the Quran. It's clearly opposing the Quran, but people don't listen to what, don't analyse what's been said.
Obviously, they're Muslims, yes. Their actions is not according to Islamic teachings.
While no one knew where Senior Judge Bakri was, people said I might get through to him via his colleague, Sheikh Abu Hamza, a radical cleric who's been in the papers recently because the US government want him extradited. Armed with my falsified evidence against Rove McManus, I organised a meeting.
His name's Rove McManus, and he's been quite blasphemous and offensive. I know some people in Australia were saying he definitely deserves to be punished. I was saying he deserves a fatwa, but they're saying because it's Australia, maybe something just like a public flogging. Is that available?
It depends what he says. I'm not really aware of fully what kind of statements he said.
That's the book he's planning to release, Satanic Verses to Muhammad the Prophet, What the? By Rove McManus.
I think that he's satanic, he's an infidel, he's an icon for anti-Christ.
Rove's an icon for the Antichrist.
He's an icon for an Antichrist.
So what do you think would happen to Rove in Australia? What do you think is going to happen
to this person?
Yeah.
He's too insignificant to have a fatwa on him.
Isn't that always the way? You're a big shot in Australia, but come to London and suddenly you're too insignificant for a fatwa. Nevertheless, now I was connected, and Hamza told me where I could find Senior Judge Bakri. By the way, my crack legal team wants me to emphasise that, of course, Rove McManus never actually wrote a book called Satanic Verses 2, and material attributed to Rove in this story was created by me and a colour photocopy machine. Anyway, I headed on to meet the senior judge of the UK Sharia court, Sheikh Omar Bakri.
Hello, I'm John. Very, very honoured to meet you. There's a gentleman in Australia who's very blasphemous.
Oh yeah, I heard about him.
We'd like to get a fatwa because he's...
We need to hear what he said.
Well, I'll bring you the evidence. I'm just there. So his name's Rove McManus, and he's, I don't know how best to describe him, but he's not very pleasant. And this is the book he's planning to release, which is Satanic Verses 2, Muhammad the Prophet, What the? He does offensive things such as this, dressing up in a burqa and showing his underpants. That's him spray painting the side of a mosque.
Rove Life, Tuesday 9:30, Channel 10, is cheapest way to advertise.
He's put out these badges. Rove says, don't be a jerker.
Take off your burqa. Here, Ramadan, who gives a damn? The same here, don't pay zakat, you dirty rat. Look who's speaking.
This is an ad he proposed to do for the Australian Pork Institute.
Forget halal, get some pork off your fork.
This one I don't quite understand. He's just got, say hi to Muhammad for me.
Obviously, he wants himself to mock Islam. Here as well, he make himself fool. He show his underwear, and his underwear say yellow. So it says, you guess the color. He deserves capital punishment, unless he repent.
They show me, you see, from Australian television, some clips from somebody, I love his name, Rove himself, somebody want to make himself funny, and he said Ramadan, who give damn? Eat itself what? He said, don't eat the halal, eat itself what? Eat pork, something like this. And he wear like what woman, wear burqa. And he said to me, this man deserves fatwa. What he said is offensive. He take off his clothes, he show his underwear. I saw the whole pictures. He done, dare you, Rove or Dove, whatever you call yourself. Rove. Huh? Rove. So this is my message to Rove. You will have only one punishment. That's called a big fatwa.
Wow, a big fatwa, not just a regular one. So I did get an answer to my question. How difficult is it to get the senior judge of the UK Sharia court to place a fatwa on someone? Apparently, not difficult at all. It was just about time to head on home with my fatwa mission almost complete. Almost.
There's a thing you got to do. You can't get instant revenge on people. You've got to let it stew a bit inside and bottle up, and then you like start exaggerating the pain and stuff like that. And then you do it when you get revenge on someone. You do it in a time when they're not only are they feeling the hurt of the revenge, they're going, "How's that fair? This is so many years later. How can you not?"
Sheikh Omar Bakri later told evidence was falsified. There is no fatwa on Rove.
It was hard to be given fatwa to him, but he did not deserve it yet.
Just say I'm following the wrong religion. I thought I'd road test some others. Peyote is a Native American religion where an hallucinogenic cactus of the same name is consumed as a sacrament. Kind of like the Catholic Eucharist, except peyote is also meant to give you divine psychoactive visions to help you look into your soul.
We've come to the Peyote Way Church of God in Klondike, Arizona.
This particular peyote church was started by a Native American, a former Mormon, and a guy who calls himself Rabbi. I've arranged to join the church and take part in one of their spirit walks.
So you got to work out where you're going to take your spirit walk before you actually take it.
Kind of the day you come, you walk the property and you find a place.
So the spirit walk is just a little bit of a walk and then just hanging out in the same
right,
place.
yeah, it's not really a walk at all.
No,
Right?
it's
Just a spirit
spiritual
stand in the
thing,
same
yeah.
place. So you got 8,000 peyote plants here.
Yeah.
The mescaline-based peyote is considered a Class A drug and is illegal in the USA, unless you're a member of the Native American Church.
It's listed with heroin and speed and cocaine as a dangerous substance.
But in Arizona, there's a loophole for non-Indigenous Americans. You can consume it if you can prove it's in connection with a bona fide religious belief.
So you're a church inside, like you're officially a church? And
Yeah, we're
signed up
legally
and-
incorporated. We've got an IRS number.
I tell you what I've had in my life. I've been relatively innocent. I've tried ecstasy.
Uh-huh.
That's about the only drug that's actually like worked. Marijuana, I can't. I'm bad at inhaling. I don't know how to smoke and inhale.
Well, there you go.
You know, just stuff like speed and coke. This has never really worked on me. I don't know.
I slice it and dry it, and then when it's time to make tea, I put it in a coffee mill and powder it. Right, so your challenge today, and it is, you know, it is something of an ordeal, is to get the tea in, get your body absorbed, and not throw up.
My name is Emmanuel.
Oh, g'day, John.
John.
Have you gone on a spirit walk before?
Oh, I used to chew sacks of it when I was younger, and we used to make it rain, pull the storms in, all that type of stuff. Peyote, I used to use it all the time, right? Then I became psychic.
My initial response is don't expect anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I just call it tripping, like an old 60 hippie would call it, right? Grooving, tripping, right? That it's all universal and it all comes out of the middle and it all goes each way, and it's all time, space, and dimension, and it's eternity.
It's not like going to be like the Beatles' Yellow Submarine or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds or something like that, where there's like dancing elves and stuff. I don't know.
Don't eat and drink same time, don't mix food groups, no sleep in the day, don't jack off. You got a whole bunch of rules here.
Jacking off.
Well, no. It'll drain your energy. Sexual energy you need to store for power. You're whacking off for spiritual energy, but you don't understand. It's the opposite. Go ahead, get a boner, but let it shrink. Keep your hands off it.
So, you know, you're most likely gonna throw up.
I'm most likely going to throw up.
Yeah.
See you guys. I'll be back in whenever. I'll be a more enriched person. I'll be a better person.
It was off for my spirit walk in the Arizona desert.
Okie dokie. Give you a hug and we're out of here? Good.
Goodbye, Rabbi. Okay, now I'm fucked. And I've got my art supplies because I said you should take art supplies and you can record your experience. Fantastic finger paints, some Play-Doh, textures, crayons. I've got my Magna Doodle. I reckon this is where most of my journey is going to be recorded on. I know how to do this because I went to Cubs, Scouts and Venturers. God, it's getting a bit hot. It'd be kind of cool if I caught on fire, but we'd be about 3 episodes down. Oh, God almighty. It's smells like something so revolting, there's nothing to compare it with because not even human feces correctly reflects the revolting smell of this peyote. Now, we'll have a look at it. Oh my, oh Jesus. I'm feeling woozy, I'm feeling lazy. It took me like half an hour to build up the energy to bother walking over the camera and hitting record. At best, it's like the hangover on Sunday morning. Okay, this is good, this is good. I was just lying down there looking up at the sky and I started seeing lots of little twinkly, like thousands of twinkly, glittery fireflies in front of my eyes. That's definitely getting better. I haven't given up on you yet, peyote. Haven't even got to use my pipe cleaners or my Magna Doodle because the peyote has sucked my imagination. You know, you usually look up into the clouds and you can start to see things. It's like, wow, look, that looks like a piano, and wow, that looks like my geography teacher. And now the clouds just look like literal fucking clouds. This fucking peyote has damaged my fucking imagination. It's fucked up everything.
It really was becoming unbearable to finish, but I battled on because of the promise of divine insights into God, the universe, and my soul.
I'm so close to the end. Oh, that's what's going on in my head. Going like that. And they're the other things I kept on seeing whenever I closed my eyes. They were a lot more scary in my head. I'm just very bad at drawing. Now I'm seeing a kind of ghosty thing, and it's surrounded by a rainbow type of thing. I'm just seeing kaleidoscope patterns now. Okay, I saw mice. That was cool. Okay, little mice are like running around underneath my eyelids now. When they leap into the air, they become the mouth of the face of death. Okay. Oh, fuck. I'm so close to the freaking bottom. It's so annoying. You're like Eminem at the start of Lose Yourself. You're looking in the mirror. Got one chance, one opportunity. You're only going to be in Arizona once. I've got to finish the peyote. Oh, fuck. Palms are sweaty. Mum's spaghetti. Come on. Get it. You've got to lose yourself. As I said. Oh. Oh. Come on. That's really good. I don't know what I was complaining about for the past 36 hours.
Even though there were some cool hallucinations, where was the metaphysical journey into the cosmos and the heart of God?
I reckon it's one of these religions where they blame you whenever it doesn't work. You know, a bit like Zen Buddhism, where somehow you're doing everything they say and you know, yet it doesn't work, and then it's your fault because, you know, you're not releasing your mind in the right way, and you really are. And it just doesn't work because it's not the right religion, but they blame you.
Should John convert to the Peyote Way Church of God? Go to johnsafranversusgod.com and vote now.
Jamie Packer, son of media tycoon Carey and heir to a $7 billion fortune. Jamie Packer, executive chairman of Australia's biggest media company, PBL, the jewel in its crown, Channel 9. Jamie Packer, all of the above, and according to Scuttlebutt, dipper of toe into the world of Scientology. Journalist Annette Sharp broke the story in the Sydney Morning Herald. She claimed Jamie had been introduced to the church by actor Tom Cruise and had been spotted at a church campus in Sydney. According to Sharp, not only had Jamie been taking self-help courses, but he had also employed a Scientologist as his personal assistant. Ah, Scientology. You know the drill. Its critics call it a dangerous cult that combines brainwashing and dubious technology like the e-meter with esoteric science fiction-influenced theology. Its supporters say it's a great way to reach your full potential and just as logical as any other religion. Hey, it's a free country. Jamie Packer can believe whatever he likes. Good on him. I don't care. But I do wonder what it's going to be like when Kerry passes on and Jamie is left in charge of Channel 9. Welcome to Who Wants to Be an Operating Thetan, Level 8. The game show consisting entirely of questions from the Scientologist free personality test. Along the way, you can rid your reactive mind of engrams and become entirely clear, thus reaching the higher mental and spiritual state of Operating Thetan, Level 8. Now Terry, if I could get you to put your hands on the e-meter, the electropsychometer, which will enable me, the auditor, to prelocate areas of spiritual distress. Question 1 from the free personality test. Do you often ponder over your own inferiority?
No.
Question 2, does an unexpected action cause your muscles to twitch?
No.
Question 3, do you laugh and smile readily?
I don't know. Can I phone a friend?
No. Your friends can impede your spiritual advancement through their antagonism towards Scientology. Remember, their opposition is rooted in false information about the organisation. You should make the self-determined decision to disconnect from these friends. They are impeding your spiritual advancement.
Oh.
Anyway, do you laugh and smile readily?
No.
The results. Oh boy. Your results show whilst you have a lot of potential, you're being held back by a lack of self-esteem. Would you like to purchase this copy of L. Ron Hubbard's Dianetics? It will start you on your path to personal freedom. I'm outside the house of a very special person. He started out on a planet ruled by Galactic Master Zenu 75 billion years ago, and after escaping has since been reborn into the flesh of many other bodies. Let's see if he's home. Rob Hibbert, this is your past life. Now, Rob, as we know from the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard, tens of billions of years ago, you were living on another planet. Just one of the 76 planets ruled over by Galactic Master Zenu. As you'll remember, your planet was vastly overpopulated. So Zenu gave you and billions of others an injection of alcohol and glycol, paralysed you, put you on a rocket and flew you here to Earth.
Back then it was known as a Tejiarch.
It was indeed called Tejiarch. Now, on arriving on Earth, you were stacked with billions of others around the base of a volcano, which then had a hydrogen bomb lowered into it, which was detonated, killing everyone. It was about this time your soul was caught in an electronic trap, put in a box and implanted with misleading data and stuck in the body you now inhabit. Rob, do you remember this voice? Yes, all the way from his electronic mountain trap from another planet, it's the galactic ruler, Zenu. You two obviously have a lot of catching up to do.
Here comes Hubbard Albert.
What's that, Hubbard Albert? You want to go to the purification rundown room to free your thetans of engrams on the bridge to total freedom? I know a song about that. Old L. Ron Hubbard, he went to the cupboard to give his e-meter a bash.
Channel 9, still the one for movies. Tonight, 8:30, John Travolta in Battlefield Earth. Tomorrow, 8:30, John Travolta in Battlefield Earth. And Wednesday, 8:30, Barry Pepper co-stars with John Travolta in Battlefield Earth.
I admit, there's some people smart enough to understand science and the Big Bang and all that stuff, and therefore have enough insight and knowledge to be an atheist. But let's face it, you're not one of them. Why? Because you're a humanities student with an arts degree. Let's not play any games here. If I came over to your house right now and asked you to explain exactly why the Big Bang Theory is more rational than Genesis, you wouldn't be able to even stutter out a semblance of an answer. So where do you get off sniggering at Christians like they're stupid and you have some amazing insight? Sure, you bought a copy of Stephen Hawking's Brief History of Time, but I think if you waddle over to your bookshelf, you'll see that the bookmark is exactly where you left it 9 years ago, on page 3. Face it, you're too stupid to be an atheist. Until next time, go to hell.